What's up, guys? I'm back again with another video, and today what I'm going to be talking about is the new NCAA ruling that might be put into effect possibly next month. This ruling will consist of athletes being able to make money off their name, their likeness, and being able to build a brand around their athletic ability. I feel as though this will benefit athletes all around the country because this will help them in their situations, depending on their individual situation, if they need extra cash for their living or possibly to help their family out. And there's a whole bunch of possible opportunities that can help these athletes. For me personally, I'm going to explain my story and how this can personally benefit me, because I feel as though it can help me a lot in my situation, because I'm not in one of the most fortunate situations considering where I've come from and what I've been through in my life. So I'm just going to explain that a little bit, and then I'm going to get into the details of how the ruling is going to work, and then we're going to continue with the video. I'm just going to explain everything, and I'm going to tell you guys how you guys will benefit from it if you're already in college or if you're soon to be in college. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to be dropping all knowledge this video. And this rule hopefully goes into effect next month, which will make my life a whole lot easier, especially with this YouTube channel. And also, do not forget to subscribe, like, and leave your comment on how you guys feel about this topic down below. Thanks for continuing to watch. So this first part, what I'm going to be speaking about is how this will benefit me personally and what I had to go through my life on the football field, in the class, and how this will really change my life for the better, honestly. So let me start off first by saying, before I even came to college, I didn't even know anything about the likeness and branding rule of how you can't make money about your name and likability. I didn't know anything about that before coming to college, so this was totally new to me, and there was a lot more rules and regulations once I got here. Once you first step on campus, they explain it all to you, and they have a meeting with all the incoming freshmen, and they have another one with the whole team talking about how you can't make money off your name. You have to talk to compliance about certain things, what you can do and can't do with your life just because you're a student athlete. So I didn't know that when I first came out of high school. And I mean, I don't think it would change my if I was going to go to college for football or not. I don't think it would change my decision in that, but it would just definitely have me more aware about this, because when you're a young athlete coming from high school to college, you don't know anything about this, and you just get hit with all these no, you can't do this, you know, and it just kind of sucks. For me, I mean, my beginnings weren't very, I wasn't fortunate like most people to have a lot of money and have access to a lot of money, so I wasn't really living comfortable, especially when I was at Stony Brook, because at some colleges you actually don't receive stipends at all. Since we didn't receive a stipend, and I wasn't as fortunate as some people, it just was like I just had no money at all. Like, I was broke. A lot of times it'd be hard because the simple fact that I couldn't eat how I wanted to eat because the food at Stony Brook was atrocious. It was bad for you, and it was just bad in general. Like, they just didn't have good food over there, and that's what I was limited to. So it was kind of hard for me to excel as an athlete, because, you know, you have to eat right so you can perform well and, you know, just have the whole facade of just being really great. It was hard because I didn't have any money to get any better food for myself. I was living on campus in a dorm, and it just was hard for me. So that's first off, that's what I'm going to talk about. But just, I feel as though this rule really just changed a lot of different athletes' lives, because it not only will help the athlete himself, but it'll allow the athlete to also give back to his family if need be. Because some athletes don't have that, their families aren't in such great position, and them going to college and becoming a D1 athlete or any athlete and possibly giving themselves a chance to go to the NFL or to the professional level gives your family hope and gives you a chance for you to really just, you know, provide for your family. Like, it's a big thing. So how I'm gonna be explaining how this rule works, I have my phone right here. I'm gonna throw a screen recording up right here of me talking about this rule and everything, and just showing you the screen and like all the words that says from NCAA.com. So you know this is a legitimate source. It's directly from the NCAA, actually it's NCAA.org. So directly from their official website, This is what they released April 29th, 2020 at 8:30 a.m. They released this article talking about how they're going to be changing the rule so college athletes can benefit from their own name, which is amazing. Let's start screen recording so I can throw it up right there. From the beginning, it says, Board of Governors move towards allowing student athletes to compensate for endorsements and promotion. That right there caught my eye, bang. I was excited. I was like, perfect. I mean, but in my head, I didn't know if it was going to be in effect during my time when I was in college or not, but it was just great because honestly, it's just horrible what they've been doing to us college athletes for all this time. For 75 years it's been. They haven't been allowing us to make money from what we've been producing pretty much. And some of the things like what they were saying that we can't make money off of was like absurd. Like a YouTube channel, something they don't even control, something they don't put any time into, why couldn't we make money off that? And certain things like that, you know, but I mean, now they're moving towards this. But so let's move on. So it looked like they had on April 29th, like I said, and they said they had a meeting this week with the Board of Governors who supported the rule changes to allow student athletes to make money off their name, likeness, and you know, everything. I mean, also what I got from this rule is that you won't be paid from the college directly. You're allowed to make money off of something that's a third party. That's what it's pretty much saying right here, because it wouldn't really make sense for college athletes to be paid directly from the college, because I mean, the college doesn't have $1 million just to be given out. I mean, the athletes do bring in a lot of money, but they had to reinvest that into their college so they can make their university better and more up to date. So I kind of understand that part of it, and maybe in the future they might change that up too for the college athletes to actually be paid from the university. But as of right now, you can only make money from third-party endorsements or social medias. You can become a social media influencer and you can just make money. I mean, you know, like from whatever you want to do, and you can start your own business, obviously. Oh, hold up, I have actually something to tell you guys before I continue. California and Florida actually are trying to put this in effect before the NCAA even decide whatever they're going to do, because they feel as though their athletes should be already paid, which is a great thing, I believe. I think Florida actually put it into effect already, and California is trying to get into effect right now. They haven't got the paper signed and everything isn't done deal yet, but I think Florida is done deal. So I mean, as of now, they're making money. They can make money off of their name and likability, which is amazing, I think. Let me go now. It says, while student athletes will be permitted to identify themselves by sport in school, the use of their conference logos and bags and trademarks and other things would not be allowed. So they're pretty much saying like, I can't wear like some from UD while I'm trying to make money off of a video or anything like that. I can't have their logos in the back or anything because of copyright and trademark things, you know. That kind of makes sense too, because like, you know, schools have their own deals with brands and stuff like that. So if you're making a video on YouTube, you have a UD thing on, like you're wearing a UD joint, and you have like another brand that the school is not endorsed by, it might cause some conflict between the brand and the school, and you just don't want that, because that's just like a problem that could be avoided just by them making this rule, which is, I think, a good idea, you know, just to avoid the headaches of your coach and you, and you know, ruin that whole relationship, which will kind of suck. So that they said, yeah, about you can't use the logos and stuff. Then they said the board directed all 3 divisions to consider appropriate rules changes based on recommendations from the federal and state legislation working groups. So this is like some higher up. I mean, I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about here, but they're obviously talking about this has got to a federal and legislation level. So obviously this is a big thing. So this is going to be controlled also by the Congress. Congress is getting in on this. So the NCAA will have to choose by the time of this next month coming up. I don't know what the day is, because it didn't really specify what day they're going to be actually choosing, but let me just skip this next paragraph right here, and I'm going right here. So it says the board of recommendations will now move to the rulemaking structures in each of the NCAA 3 divisions for further consideration. The divisions are expected to adopt the new name, image, and likeness rules by January to take effect at the start of 20 to 21 academic year. That should be in January, obviously, because that's the start of the 2021 academic year. 21-22 academic year. So that should be next month, and it says that right here that it will take effect in January. So January is the next month after December, which is next. So it should take effect next month, which is amazing. So now let's go to the next paragraph. So in this paragraph, they're talking about how the board is requiring guardrails around this whole thing. So they're pretty much like limiting some things because of the simple fact they don't want people to be like, say you're about to get recruited to a certain amount of schools, you have a top 3, and then this one school's booster said, oh, I'll give you $50,000 if you come to our school and, you know, play here and just, you know, perform. They don't want that to happen, so they're putting guardrails around it right here, and they're saying you can't get paid to play a game. Like, that makes sense. Like, I mean, you don't want to be paid for play, because like it just would defeat the purpose of collegiate sports versus like professional sports. You know, like if you're paid to play, you're just pretty much a professional athlete at that point. You're not an amateur at this point, because you're getting paid to actually play the sport that you're doing in college. So that kind of makes sense. I like that rule. What it says right here, it says these would include no image and likeness activities that would be considered pay for play, no school or conference involvement, no use of name, image, and likeness for recruiting by any schools or boosters, and the regulation of agents or advisors. Okay, and also they're saying that you can't also still have an agent or advisor, which kind of makes sense, because then that would, I mean, that's still a rule. I mean, it makes sense. I understand that, because if you're already saying having deals with agents, I feel like it will just mess up the whole flow of the NCAA and how you go into the NFL and stuff like that. Because at that point, if there are a lot of people that have agents, people are going to get agents coming out of high school, and, you know, it's going to be a whole messed up conjumbo. I mean, people are saying this might go south because the simple fact that players just might let their ego get the best of them, especially if they're making a whole bunch of money on the side. It might just mess up the whole forte of each team, but we'll see. I mean, depends on like the character of each player, really. I mean, for me, I don't think I would change. I would just try to grind on the field, and I'll grind off the field to make my own money, and I wouldn't change actually at all. I would be exactly the same as I am right now. So I mean, it depends on the character of a person, really. It doesn't have anything to do with like being a college athlete and making a whole bunch of money. I feel like it's just your individual character. Let's continue reading and seeing what they're talking about. Talking about people like non-student athletes, and student athletes should be treated fairly for the university. They shouldn't be like catered to the student athletes more than the non-student athletes, which makes sense. I can understand that. And this is just kind of like some of the rules. I mean, you can go back and look at that yourself if you want to. And here's something. It says the NCAA works to monetize name, image, and likeness continues. We plan to make these important changes on the original timeline no later than January 2021. And this was said by Gene Smith from Ohio State, Senior Vice President and Athletic Director and Working Group Co-Chair. So he's working for the NCAA, and he works at Ohio State as a Senior Vice President and Athletic Director. He said the board's decision today provides further guidance to each division as they create and adopt appropriate rule changes. So he's just talking about how they're going to adopt a new rule and how they're changing it up. You know, they're just going to make it better, you know. And the rest isn't really that important, honestly. It's just talking about the actual rule and how it works, and how it would go for how to go through Congress, and how that all affected, and how to play their parts into it. I mean, I just think in general that this whole rule will just benefit college athletes all over, you know. For me personally, this will change my life. I know that for a fact. And I know there's a lot of people in the same situation I am all over the country that are college athletes that have to work hard and they can't really make no money at all. It makes no sense, because regular college students, if they decide to build a brand around their likeness and stuff like that, they're allowed to make money and they're allowed to do whatever they want. But for people like me who are college athletes, they're limited and they're told that they can't make it, which is pretty much a basic human right. Like, why would you not be able to make money for yourself and try to make your life better and build your brand as you're going through college? But yeah, they're changing that rule up, so this should benefit a lot of people. I mean, it might ruin the whole, you know, pyramid level scheme of everything in the NCAA, but we'll just have to see about that, because there's people saying that and that's their opinion. Me personally, I don't think it will, because it depends on a personal level. It's like somebody's individual character, I feel like. And I think if a coach is recruiting somebody with that type of character, I mean, they just didn't pick the right recruit, honestly. If you're recruiting somebody that has that type of character and is really egotistic, then that wasn't the guy to recruit, pretty much. Like, they're given a great opportunity, and if you want to abuse that opportunity, then that's horrible. Because I don't know, this is how I think and how I believe. But that's probably gonna be the end of this video today. I really think everybody that came out to watch, but I really hope this rule goes into effect. I don't know what day exactly they're going to be talking about. I didn't really say it in the article. At least that's not what I seen in there. I didn't see any direct days on when this will be decided on. I'll keep you guys updated if I find a day, or if they just start talking about it, because I just don't know that much about it yet, because they only posted this one article on it. And I mean, I've seen a whole bunch of other sources on YouTube and, you know, online, but I don't know if they're completely true, considering the fact that it's not the direct NCAA, you know. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe. like, comment. Let me know how you guys feel about this rule. Do you guys think it'll ruin college sports, or you think it will benefit college sports and benefit the athletes? I don't know. I don't know how people think like that aren't athletes. I wonder how you guys are thinking. So just let me know below, and I'll respond to you. And I mean, we can just chop it up for a little bit, because I'm wondering. I really wonder what everybody else thinks about this whole situation. And I know a lot of people actually didn't know about it. So that's why I'm making this video, so a lot more people can be aware of this change coming. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And stay tuned for our next video. I'm going to be dropping more knowledge on how you guys can create and build your Twitter to be recruited by a college. So I mean, that's going to be my next video directly after this one, and that's going to be coming out soon. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be out, but it's coming out very soon. Stay tuned, and I'm going to continue to drop knowledge for you guys. You know, as always, I'm trying to help you guys get to that next level or achieve your dreams in life, you know. And it just makes me feel good when you guys are like, I improved my 40 time, or this helped me a lot. Like, yeah. But thank you. Subscribe, like, and turn your post notification bell so you guys don't miss a video the next time I post it. And I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and hope you continue to have a beautiful day today. Thank you.